die ena bra so se ye de ebrewo ewo eye umfidie ahodo nyina so minim se utie yen ewo Oman FM afi utie yen ewo Ash FM ewo Asantemantemo minim se Nap radio enso so enam so eho a baromes eno nso so no utie eho ma niam ekonanim ebre so ebebia homam ato mo bia nso so afre na wakere na adwen ewa ha yenka ne yenhye ne nso se enne ye hwe eye sustainable development go 5 eno ene yebedi ho nkomo and it talks about gender equality na nansei ena Ghana mampeni dada wetwemu His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-addo ebo modern ade ne nsa ehye emra ba ko ase a eba be yesa emra no ho adwuma na ye nyina ye be kai se weekendi ana yedi eye yenuanom emma nyina ewo wiase afa na nyina no ye celebrate wo mu nyina enti eno no eye International Women's Day eti ye celebrate yenuanom nyina enti ene kwan bia so emma nkomo ene ebedi enti ubeka se ne de ema asem na ena ye be ye ne hama bibia akọ nenem meda se okame ho ama ye de dwumadie ebrewo medin e de Anthony Kofi Inkum Dadzi Mr. Inkum na afi yenko yenim me ba cho dwumadie no so e de Pein ye kano senia etie sa pepepe ena etie ya yeguso e de koyenim kakrakra efri sabre ekosise no nan ebebo na afi ye de nyina aba awiye e de amaw na sadia ya ne da ne da nyina no ma yenko na afi yenko kwaje eye enkura hyesem the lion mentality eniam egum no edoso chen wotwe wi me yenko na afi yenko nkotie ye tie wie na ye ba ya hyase editorial no de abrew na afi ya to aso akọ yenim.
The lion demands freedom. The lion has freedom because he fights for freedom. The lion has freedom because the lion demands freedom. The lion has freedom because he fights for freedom. His very nature says he will die for that freedom. Perhaps there's no more valuable asset on this earth than freedom. Something you can only understand if you've experienced a lack of it. In your own life, you must fight for freedom. Your own and that of others. The freedom to speak your mind. The freedom to be who you want to be. The freedom to live on your terms. Freedom means fairness for all. The freedom to be who you must be while allowing others to be who they're going to be. There is no greater value. Fight for your freedom.
Of yeka lion na brabo a onti ase until se obe experience bibi amana kire se baby awi ase keka kono ase wi ase nyina eja ho ase niam nyina aya chese oto onsa enso hwe so. That is when you begin to understand the mentality of a lion. Se yenka miawa obedwene se the mentality of a lion no cry no entimi mfa bibia emrew. I just want you to develop it. I just want you to start inculcating it into your thinking, to start inculcating it into your plans. I mean bibia wuye bia no make sure say you develop it, the mentality of a lion to fight for yourself, because a time is coming now ewiase ebeka miaw. A time is coming now what sorry no beka miaw. A time is coming now ekuo na wom no beka miaw. A time is coming now ebusuan kasakra beka miaw. A time is coming now ejuma wom ejumayefo beka miaw. Na ye ka miaw na say the mentality of a lion. There you see or you begin to understand the benefits are edebebrewo. Said the beboamu atimi akowanim ewa brabom. That is the time obetiase. Say the ka obefo say eyedede. Enti hyase say uchi ede agu trim the mentality of a lion. Na ebeboa ama bibia ayekama. Sani medical aka no abusua Sustainable Development Goal 5 talks about gender equality. Now, gender equality. We are talking about say ema ene mema ejinabia. Na adia baako akame akwa say eya na etai eba meba cho join me Facebook. On Facebook and afa sans join me YouTube. Okowa Net2 TV GH. Me pa cha na afa enkomo ayedie no wo so atimi akan bi nti wo TV ne so a wo be say edaso or say the United Nations theme for this year's Women's Day celebration is for all women and girls, right, equality, empowerment. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about this afternoon. Now, say, menu di hun koma time at United Nations 2015, wamotina si hunu se ewiase nyina niema bia sabe eyo haw ewo yasetrem no womo ehyaase na afei womo develop niema maako your friends say dunson 17 out se wiase nyina ehwe na womo emfa bi enye omanyo krata se bia ye kan se national policies ahodo no esese those goals no appear in the national policies no na aboama niema etimi akọ nanim enu ntibra wo motena ase no mo hwe se sustainable development goals no eye goal 5 no eno no ye de ba be ye emma ehu adwuma enti eno no eye masem na se ye nyina ye be kai ya be se after 2015 Ghana Parliament 2016 and a sustainable your friend is saying sir affirmative action bill first time a call parliament but time a call parliament no I say yenye at that time na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ono anano oyo mampeni a wase akonwa so na yenye sa womo anya ho adwuma womo anje bill no antum womo ampase bill no ena yetwabo ye ne yekoe na His Excellency Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo former president time a otena konwa so anu ohun se saasem nya ye kan eyasam a ehu hia eyasam a ebeboa ama aboa ye ma ebeboa ye mama ebeboa ye yerenom ye girlfriends ena afa kura ye nuanom ene sebe emma ye ne wo mu kura eye adwuma enti ye hwe na asoman ye nya hu adwuma enti somewhere July ena womo ede call 2019 ena womo ehya ede call parliament ena ampa osanso yes obetimi aye hu adwuma oye hu adwuma pepepe enti on your screen ena ewo so no or say the affirmative action bill eno call parliament ena womo eye hu adwuma 2024 ena yetimi pass ye ema Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo Ghana mampeni at that time ode ne nsa ehye krata na se agitu mu se asoman yanjintum na adwuma na eba beye no eno ni o se the Affirmative Action Gender Equality Bill 2024 which had been in the out of the parliament since 2011 2011 e sha se ko ye ewrewremu 2019 afei esabaji ni din na afei yagea yade atum na enu ni o bra ya pass ya wie no eniama ede beba ene mfaso krampa ebetimi de abre oman titru ene emma no eno na oba TV no so obetimi anu se ewo so now say oya krata na asem o kan say parliament on July 30th 2024 has been assented to by President Nana Addo Danko Akufo-Addo. Enti time a parliament emrahye bedwefie womo tena ase a womo edi hu nkomo benkum ni fa sa agitu mu wieye no ena Ghana mampeni otia konwa so at that time His Excellency Nana Addo Danko Akufo-Addo agitu mu se emra meye emra ode ne krata si ase ode ne pen eto ase wie san ye se emra meye emra ewo man yimu eti eno no baba ye emra ya sese no sa amra na ya pass no emfaso ebetimi de abre ye nuanom bi anasa botaya ye de pass ye no producers mun follow me na yenko botaya yade eye no yenhwe na fe yenni hu enkomo emfaso a yehwe se ebetime de aba yehwe na fe yenni hu enkomo me pacho we me kan anye yentu de yemfa nto nchen eti ye ne se yemfa mo amfa nhihye niema se de be ya ebeboa ma emman kasa nso ginabia e wa abrabom no etimi akonanim ebeboa ma emma ginabia e wa adwumam akonanim ebeboa ama ma ginabia wa aware asekura betimi akonanim eti se menu mienu nyina be kai a menu mienu nyina be kai a time a wo mo eye sa adwuma no wie ye no ewiase nyina United Nations ebo modern eye nhihwemu ehwese baabi a wiase ekeka kono saa nhihye ya ye kura no ebeboa nhihye ya afa na Ghana abegine de atomu no ekwan be nso na amanfo anase enkura hodo anase amanya hodo a wo mo ehye United Nations ase no wo mo ahye ase de ye adwuma enti 2023 wo mo ede eye report on gender equality eba abontene 2023 wo mo ede report ede ba abontene se enipa eye anase wo mo enye ni nyina ne yade a wo mo ede eba ya producers se mu follow me a me pa atwa mo ma yenko na yenhwe report na eba 2023 yemfamra sustainable development goals report no a eba on gender equality no moma yenhwe na afi yehu baabi ana ewo enti time a wo mo etena se ye din no mu se amaya hodo bebre ho a wo mo ankasa kra no wo mo nyoma dwene se wo mo ebeje ede atomu amaya hodo bebre ho a wo mo ntu hwa na mo bia ya e kire se eba beboa ma ediyie wo mo ntu hwa na mo bia e kire se eba beboa ema sabe ema kanko aba enti wo mo ye sa report no de baaye no eno wo mo kire number of days in fact report no a kire the number of days yewo the number of years yewo SSC de years adwuma no because ye hwese by 2030 nanka saa nhyehyeye no sebe yagye atum amanya hodo a wo mo ehye United Nations ase nyina no wo mu nyina agye atum emna ba beye emra ewa amanya hodo mu a eno betimi aboa asesa emma hyebre se ye ka emma asam a wanhwe abaye wadwene se adan na de bia na emma nko ade ni ye piama wo mo ye mpiama mema Honorable Kennedy Agyapong kan asem yo se etoda na oko eba wiase a eye ma ene mema emma ene nkura ene bre enti se ekoba ne se bia ohaw ensoso eba omamu okom eba omamu ahokire eba omamu a eye emma ene mema emma ne mofra ene bre eye emma ne mofra ene bre eti moma ye hwe Brawo TV no so bomode na join me on Facebook and na fe YouTube na bra na so be kan bi eti say ye ka eye sustainable development goal 5 na niam na omo pese omo de achieve no eye set to achieve eye gender equality and empower all women and girls enti sa ye betimi abo ama ma ne mema wo mo agina ye aye papa eti sa wo hwa ne wo mu ni o se the world is not on track to achieve gender equality. It is a common sanachese or mine anase amaya hodua wamo eshe eye United Nations ase. Yebeka se Ghana eka ho no enya dia ye nam kwam se pese achieve sa target no. Enu ti se wo hwa report no esan eka se in fact se eka eye legislated gender quotas, legislated gender quotas. Any effectiveness, any yakika kahoni ade nyina na akwa esa amanya hodo no enye ready class wo mo ebetimi aye ho adwuma eti amanne mama ye de papa e de ama emma minim emma hodo a wo mo sabe wo mo nya kamafo emma hodo ya wo mo nya kamafo and that is the main reason why ntia Danny den na Honorable Kennedy Agyapong kasa wo se emma ene mofra emma ene mofra emma ene mofra eti se wo hwa wo mo ka se ye wo 300 years esese yetimi ede achieve ni nyina wo report nim ene no mo sa ka se legislated gender quotas are effective to achieve equality in politics. It is already as someone can say all the political parties ni nyina no, it is about time esese wo niam omo ye nyina no wo mo nhyehyɛ bi omeye bia no esese wo mutimi edi hyem se wo mo boama emma enough emma titru ene emma nketenkete girls and women maamefo enough emma yoa wo mu nyina no betimi agina level a ye kɔ parliament a ye betimi enya mma dodo afi se ye kɔ baby ti se enwuma ahodo mu a esese yetimi enya mma enso dodo se ye fa mema 30 se fa man so 30, and that is what we are all seeking to achieve ewo wi ase nyina. But akwa say sebe anytime obi anu na mma de ye ni e de ama wo mo eti adwuma ya ye wo mu sese ba bia me amigina kwa me kasai oba ha emema doso chemma oba ha mema doso chemma enwuma ahodo e wo Ghana nyina the same thing sa na tie emema doso che ema, and it is about time sese ema man so kwan ema so no etimi take a decision. Because reports no crack say ye wo man ahodo ho a in terms of decision making wo mu ni opportunity ye ni akwanja ema ni akwanja enti mra so se ye nyina no yetimi ehya asese ye be sori adi ma echi eno nti na sese no Ghana man pani dada na nado danko akufo-addo wono de nsa hya krata ase amana ba be ye mra eti His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ni awo ye bia ye ni di na chi because sese na ye mra e wo man yi mu emma dodo asese wo fa wo mu e wo adwumam ni nyina ne ya de ya siri Pein aka kire se ye ni di na chi emma dodo asese wo fa wo mu e wo adwumam emma dodo asese in terms of leadership wo mo so etimi occupy positions emma asese omo online ne e national offices ni nyina no ye ni di akire ya ye hwe ye ni di akire ya ye hwe se ebekwa akosisen because tema na nado danko akufo-addo ba no hu se eye wiase nyina haw eti se Ghana so betimi akwara ni magese ya ye mra na Agyapong ampa na ban apush Agyapong na be ye mra. Now Ghana mampani John Dramani Mahama ye hwew sabre ya wunua wankasa wunua e na otwi okai de ye nim nia wode ba ye nim nia opese oye wa wo ye ho amambuo na wo bebu no sabi amambuo nya nkwala asem amambuo anya se kofa wunuanom na chese wo meyese tama na nado teso no na moka mode ba ya de ba ache mafias ekeka kansama hodo amokeka ka ne ade nyina bada nne nia wuye ye ni de akire ye hwe enti wiase nyina on the 8th ana ye nyina ye celebrate ewiase ema enyina. It is a celebrate ema sa na chese ebra so se ye nyina no sa nkomo no ye nso ye de anotum because ye nkomo a ewiase nyina e na edie ye nkomo a oman ni nyina e na edie ye nkomo a efie bia mu esese epie ho ye nkomo a esese obia etimi de na anotum mo odibie enti enne no ye guso ehwese ye ne ema hodo a wo mo abobra ko manim ema hodo a time ana ye de mema eco school wo mo so ye ma wo mu kwan emo mo so ko school emfa so aba wo mo so ene ekwan kra wo mo nam so a wo mo so eboa eye society no ekwan a wo mo nam so a wo mo eboa Ghana institutions ekwan a wo mo nam so a eboa Ghana enwuma hodo bebre ema ne fa ne tampefra ekonanim. These are conversations as of mine essentially a chance you open up na ye die. Sometimes medical culture say you can one here obey say as a ye dede dodo enye dede bi na ye minim emma wodo a wo mo ye adwuma minim oba wa ye adwuma over 10 years in one company wa ye adwuma 10 solid years. Emma wodo a wo mo training memma mom na ye ma memma positions akese na ye tu memma salary na ye pia memma ko manim na ma no ye twa wo mo eja minim company a wa ye adwum oba ye adwuma ho close to 11 years ne salary cry ye ntu mu da. And it is about time as ye see ebu oman ni akoye nim ni abadwene man no mofra ho de a it is about time there should even be a platform ebeboa ema so no sabe wo mo eniama wodo mo komu afiafie mo eniama wodo mo komu onwuma mu ohaw ne atete a yede wo mo afamu ewo mo nwuma mu no yebemo mo platform wo mo ebetimi ababeka wo masem ana betimi de wo masem ababeto so ama yakwa ekodi animu akwo mo haw ede ama wo mo siasi apese ebu aman ekoyanim siasi apese ebu aman emo aman no yeye yesi apese ebu aman emo aman no fa ne tampa frade a then it is about time asase ya dwene ema ho then it is about time asase ya dwene ema ho aware mu then it is about time asase ya dwene ema ho ananua ena woko eye KNUST a abayiwa sebe o maame ne opapa ede ne ko school se onko school mra mbebobra emeboa no sabio be marketechi a na dwene nya adwuma be marketechi a edam ewo ne tirim be marketechi a sabiso didi a wonnom nkwan yo sede na ha no na sabi odnen sakeke oba no aye ne ne a wobeye no ama oba na to ya anom ewo nse do. It is about time se be makra bo ne yiri wo fie a esese ye ni gina baabi a enye kra. It is about time sabi se ye ma yakayaka de wo endwuma mkra na yetimi di mema no egina baabi a enye kra because ye nim emma wodo asabio emman ehye wo mo ne wo mo edansa na yaboa wo mo. It is say ye celebrate emma nyina wo wiase afa na nyina mo no ebra so say ye nsoso no se yepeso oman kɔ nanim yepeso oman yi ediye yepeso oman fa ne tempa fura esese ye nso yetimi eboa ede ya no tum esese ye yeboa ne ede ya no tum na ye nyina nso ye hwese ye nuanom ma ye nyina hwese ye nafofo ma no wo mu bedi ye ewa asetenam eti se wo ye oba na se wo nsoso no ebre mu eye mobre na mom no onsoso mentena wanya wadwene se ena wo ye oba enti no ebinum nkobre ne yemfa mrew se wo ye oba ye kwa akobi wo ye oba ye ka bi ye wo ma wodo a ye di positions ama wo mu a sabi they could not even do research I betimi I expand adwuma na ehwe wo nsa no ahoya book bi amekan ye the art of leadership wo kan na wo hwe emma eniama eti wo mumu a eduru baabi ana ebu abem sesebe obem background opportunity because anytime ewo ebinum ho no edoso amenye anytime any sabe eniamo ho dia oba betimi aye no yonko ba no odwene ho a wonte ase ye wo ma wodo a wo mukuta positions ewo adwumam wiase nyina se so hia eniama keka ko kire se oma oba eba beye accountant ema adwuma enyini because adwuma no musika no ejina yie se oba beti ne nsa se wo fa bibi no eya na eden but it is so easy for them say quick obe bom na ode ato no ba bi opeso ode to kra tentem oti ase and that is the main reason why they say supporting ma. That is the main reason why until we your body ma opposition a esese wo boa na hunuanom emma no nso so no wutimi ede wo mu esi baabi a eye memfa ni tan emfa nsi hunuanom so memfa ni tabe ko baabi a ya ma no position wadwumam ne ye ni suba bi a wo ye no tan egu ndwuma ni nyina ka ho na unemployment ahodo no aye kese o Ghana e ka ho na unemployment ratio no ekoso e wo Ghana emma wodo a anytime emma wodo asabe wo monyo omadwene se wo mo bebo mo nyonko ma ama o makọ manim eti se mama nyina be sori agina emma achi aboa mama ediye aboa mama akọ manim a it is about time se mo ankasa emma no mo hyase se mo dodom ho mo hyase se mo dodom ho emma wodo asabe amanyosem emma wodo asori mu wo mo kasa tia mema wo mo didi mema tem eka ne a wo mo pe ede kire mema. It is about time emma esese mu hunu se baabi a wiase ekono ewiase nyina ni dimochi ewiase nyina pese oboa mo ankasa nso mo moa mo ho because emma ni bi o ha wodo mu gina yi a sebe kasa o mo beka ekwan yo mefa so ni nipa ekura din komo no airtime enso ani bebre ewo ho bebre eho enti mra so se esese yetimi ebo ye ho so mu ankasa ma no emma mo sori na mo nya adwuma den ye nuano ma hudo bebre ye adwuma den ebinom so de konkonsa ena your profession. It is how your banner konkonsa na your professional. This is the time. Sorry, if we are seeing any duachi, if we are saying a crowd so obeboa, if we are saying a crowd so obeduachi ama we di ye wa brabom. Wan kasa so bo ho so na ye moa. Bo ho so na ye moa. Emma mo politicians e wo Ghana ha esese mo mamani ye den esese mo ma ye hunu se mo so wa ye crowd se oman ni ye die ekura mo. Ma ye ready say mo be boa mo man no akonanim. But enye se be masoma no edidi atem wo di timpenifo atem enipa wo do ma boa ma yokuo eduru ba bia ansa na mo kura ma be mu no mo bie ma no sopa wo mu a mo bie ma no a na mo sopa wo mu mo jai saade ni nyina na mo mo mani nya den ememmetu amuntiem ni enko yenim na bibia anya kama abusua ma menda me ho na meba menua Albert Asumani atenase enti yebedi nkomo na yakọ anim yeguso ehese ye ne emma ahodo nso so ye nsa beka wo mu na ye ne wo mu edi nkomo na afi yatoa so akọ yenim maka kire se on Facebook and afi YouTube no okoho a eye Net2 TV GH sanso so ana on your radio enso eye Oman 107.1 and afi Ash FM enso so Jigum 101.1 FM and afi eye Nap Radio 90.1 wono so eboa eto pitim afi Amansan Radio Sources Radio Kencity TV ene wo mo aka nyina enso so no epia ema show no eko nanim babia wo bia no sebre ne so a yebebiem ama nso so afre ene mehwe animu se ye nuanom emma ahodo mo betimi afre na yedi enkomo akoyanim eti mame na me homra me ba ye toa so na afi akoyanim. Alright, abusia yesan ema akwa ababiem de ba sinupen dwumadie so ye ka sinupen a no age so ye ka no sene a etie aha no ye nkasa ndidi obi atem aha no ye ka no kure ye kasa kukuduro kwan so enti sabebepe na etie ewa ha na medical culture se okoto se kraman esisuro a na eye nipa emoa sanse aboa kraman edene so obetimi aforo eye esoro na dwumadie wane a afa ho ka eye Mary Noel Beauty Academy. Mary Noel Beauty Academy. Abusia makatra se uwo nuaba uwo nuaba ma se owo yere ewofia ebra so se onya bibi eye na so obenya bibi aye asese ba bia wiase keka kono fashion na ye ka fashion a trihwi eka ho se yesiesi obi ani makeup eka ho na ne nyina no eye ne yaso eye ene ye be kirew a kirew papa na wo de ye adwuma obenya so mfaso me pa cha se koba ne se bia se eye babrina ebraso bra na besua de admission ye bie amanfo efa forms ba bia wo bia no nso so kofa forms na fe hyase se u besua de ewo Mary Noel Beauty Academy usua de ewo yaso ewo ewie a me pa cha okwa abrochire a ye certificate no etimi ye adwuma ewo ba bia certificate a yede be ma no eye adwuma ewo ba bia e ma won so no etua uka iye me pa cha eniama wodo bia ye kire eye basic pedicure, basic manicure, basic barbering and afidia ekeka ho nyina na yesan wo training packages a ye de ma mo a adwuma no bia mo wom dada anase afi na mo san aba besua no me pa cha ebi ni se obeba besua eye beauty and hair technology ahofe and afi etiriwi kura no kwan a ye de no efa so esiesie and afi beauty therapy se yenye makeup and afi obi o pimples wonanim yetimi siesie na ama ne ye fefefe pimples no kura wo hu ye dwuma ye no brana so besua bi ewo Mary Noel Beauty Academy me pa chope ye kira kwan ewo nkran pompune mantemo nkran ha ubehu yan ewo Adenta 6 ala Ajete Street eho ane ewo freya na afa ye ni nkomo ewo 020 920 1365 and 0209 201 365 Mary Noel Beauty Academy eho ana odo wani kira ubetimi asua de akọ wanim abusua we na efa dwumedie enyina eho ka ama yade ebrewo na sania ye ka no Albert Asumani atenase enti as usual yade eye Ghana nkomo no yade eba Ghana nkomo eye nkomo ahodo a esisi ewo edwom nkomo ahodo a ekoso ewo school nkomo ahodo a ekoso ewo mantem eno ana yedi ho nkomo na enne wo Ghana ye ma adwuma nne na ye ma asem nanso so ye de Ghana nkomo nso so no eka ho ena ofa monten nkomo ankofo die ni se Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ade a oye no enipa hunu bida chese ye hunu bida se obayi o mampani a enne wo kọ baabi a onu ankasa ni nua ni twotwomucho ene twi ni hyen ni ebusa se time a oya campaign no a drivers anu ode omo ye campaign no enne wo mo wen Albert Asumani atenase openi akwaba
Nisanku meje also
birthday man and now your birthday boy
say dey we do the say man no man
na saade na wo ye no ma yensi ni pen kan che say emwa evi say birthday ni du anu aye kole no afa baabi na onko a wakodi ame ne ewo wo mu nyina no emwa
Mr. Nkumu say the choir ni say birthday ni si Sunday aha enti na just me kwa sorry Saturday na Sunday so eson ye no na ese me san na fofo so
na sabre nsa ne ye nyina ne ye ntu kwan
kwa sorry na ekoda nyame ase un say the way na minim say Sunday no bete wonka
na unim say bete meme
aha afede Mr. Nkumu hwa mente wonka cause so no say birthday ye Sunday enti na mente wonka na msa ebia oh they are fast central region ho baby enti ameso me pay isi region ho baby fa na na nyina ya ba behia I don't think that Mr. Rabat ba bensu ye o match nim de o se me no me Ghana ba because Ghana month no me wo me until say March be end no birthday never be brave on say
ye wo Ghana month and a Ghana month mu a would do birthday and a wo birthday no mu so no wasan so ahye dem atade
so we say
say bibia wie say yo
so say me de e ba we Ghana me fe ni agro nti e ba we Ghana so dia wo be share so na wa hye kedem na chese
kedem na
eno na
se kura no nim se yese eboa mema na wo mo ano enhye dani ho no
sa ese no akasa
sa wo hye kedem a wu ye hu se wo hye kedem na
ese akọ guy
esi
ze eno akasa kasama
enti wu se ne ya na wo hye ne sa na wo kan bibi kire yen
oh dem se me de me sha hu se me no me ambassador for kedem dada ba Kenneth no wa na adwen se ono no on to me ambassadorial fees no
obetua
but me ambassadorial job no so power
obetua
enti if there go say I am can check Kenneth say asaba ye can I believe say out here
yes so kasa kire nyame opeso kasa kire nyame on fanfa enti kwa bia so
enti Kenneth adwuma no de ye
all right team ni nyina so ma happy birthday
thank you
what did you pa and na so wo fufu a ye pon a na de abeje nkwan
that's it why your oil you say ba me fa kwanya sunsun na minda minuanom no bibiara se birthday messages no na fe ese me gibre na metena se na fe me responding nyina omanfo a kire do omo frɛ me omo bom pae ma me omo a mo so de kakra ebe support you nze grofo we brace wo ho a we see ahene mo sa no o send o message a no the momo atato na agajo say
so no oye big we see ahene
na kana say afutu obi ani ho change kobobra
dabi
nti no obo ho send o birthday message ni we a no asan ka che say gine ko didi nti ebeda obi asem say birthday
dey ye didi
sa yes life begins at 40
all right
nti from and then I say birthday no a humble mama me reflect on my life na me share the baby nya me di me free ni baby odi ma bedru na ye hwe ye hopes ni empire bo ni ye gidi o nyame mu se baby obetim de akodru na aja say nyame aye bi pa adwuma so sanda ye nim te sia no na se ye de nyame no eye na edo ye de ye nim a ye nim se obeya aman ye atwam ni de we ne hwe a enye yie bibia wo hwere ye years na atwam no 40 years ago and I don't think so I can get them back
no
but the hope any the man here ni gie ni say emre da yanim ye be sire nyame se obema ya hoden ni nyansa na yetimi akon yanim na bibibia esese yetimi ye manipa na ye ma onu nyame na ye boa ye man ni wiase nyina no so no
ye be no amount of intimidation
not at all as for no there
no amount of whatever political jandam political buga
and there's no me say no there etimi ye kra ayana edu ba bia tu se nkrofo be ha mani kakra but still no ye koye nim
udi birthday no minim se kwan bia so phone ni ade de na ben what follow trends what say his excellency John Dramani Mahama wonu ani nua de twotwo mucho Yeru Ibrahim Mahama and as say the wutwi no
ma hu video no na me hu in fact me born about 3 times na me be say me hwe say why say president in the official vehicle na ye hu say ye bra pani Ibrahim Mahama na uchika no in fact me dwen ho at a point na be say afemi hu ba bia na president Mahama te say is it that trip no person Ibrahim di nkomo bi no person Ibrahim betena ne car no couldn't he have sat on the back seat na bi oneni nua ne di nkomo bi na say ni nua rankasa take you over the wheel na or drive the official presidential vehicle na Ghana mampeni and a team. And what I ask myself and I say where are we going? Is it the norm? Is it that say president can obi atimi say president ko obi one sabe kan ki ni first no utimi fa na utinam na otu kan no ana say omo kokwan so na bia na ye hwe na driver
na ukedi ehu say one sabe kan president
no because I say efie o say
kaki one sabe kan first no
o say ase ono papa no nua no mo fie na mo betu kwan na obi atimi drive car no na kwantu ye nka say Albert ne tu kana say Mr. Inkum enti ewia o yanko na wa mafaki no hu say me fa na me kotena mutu a o ka say fabra enti minim who is the official driver of the president and the minim say sesia no say Ibrahim na president nkasa so I am an official driver as I say you so that obia because me say president ka say Ibrahim Mahama na any driver who am I to complain? Will say he is the official driver for the president. But so on your official driver there, then he has no business on the driver's seat of the president's vehicle. Because I know Masunu Susimra so say Ibrahim 2K and what they call Boho or they call Premier and na BBC ya Anka Rebecca say when you holding responsible say on your official driver of the president, why is he driving the president's car? And then there's also two new Jubilee House and as a president Fiempo. Where your official working trip a president Ako. And you who said Nebra Ibrahim the Echika. Now Albert Wunmian me. Na se wo ko ba bi na metimi a drive it na me drive do kwa sankanya bo. Media me ni problem but them can say we are not talking about just any ordinary Albert. Say me ti hey nen mbeko fie na osi ahene say odem beko no kotumi ka. Say na say me ti na me na eko. Obi and me sasa den osi ahene na etumi ka. Anase Mr. Nkumu kotumi ka. Man be tell me sasa den na wutu Albert ka. But we are not talking about a common Bob no rank like me. We are talking about the president of Ghana. Ye nyina ye de re ahye ni mu. Na oye the number one gentleman enti na bibia Ghana betimi aye e dia bone ho ban as president no ete say o man ne ye enti se hu se obi etwi president onye the official driver of the president every woman in Ghana and say oye concern because enti me master president car obia betimi atwi enti o chebe so fosu kwa chin su twi o chebe so kuje tabla kwa etwi ochebe wo se bia na ba muktari no onu su uchi sa na tiana because as I say official president of the official driver of the president no onu na say so otwi president ebia na ne ho mfa no president bit me aka say ne me anka sakra me pese me twi me ho state security and say state protocol kra e ma ne kwan onu aka sakra pese okotu ka na unless say bia omo lenient na maka say okufa ka no pie. But president ahomba no top notch. What I say? Ensi ye because ye bo president who ban any MSS bo no ho ban a official vehicle no whoever would drive official vehicle of the president no obia has to be concerned about it. All right. Enti ntimi nkoba say unua oye onua enti fine obia no say Ibrahim Mahama president Mahama nua. No two ways about that. But to take over the wheels of the president's official vehicle and drive him around town, no, I think say it's not right. No. It's not right. All right. Enti eno ye Albert asmeni ne de eno no. Onso dia what the beba no. Eno ne just by the way. Yemfa eno ntonche na afei. Yenko ye topic for the day. Yenko eno so maka tro say ne no eye masem na. Masem na ye ne. Enti bomodin say oso do hu behiem. Me mako miensa enan umu nyina eye emma. Wow. Enti se ye ka emma asem a eyade a mani ebre edi akire yie pa. Enti bomodin se onso betimi account. Now Albert ma yenko so Saturday na yenuanom emma nyina wiase afa na nyina egisi ho se eye eda ye dey celebrate yenuanom ma nyina. Na fe ye dey atwen adwene so asisu se say NSS ye edema yenuanom emma. Yeah. Ye no. I mean, who can say? Mr. Nkum, ye can't emma say emma ye di emma dane hwa hom ne ahwe ade a emma etumi ya. I am one person me very very much particular about that because emma na nkasa no weaker vessels be a SSL your bema ultimately protect your mo now bomb ho ba with all your might. Se who se obi esisi oba and I say obi treaty oba in any way enya me no opa kokko twitwaje oba no kran so bisa se de asem na ewum.
All right, Albert, me sign about subium na ma menkai etiefo ene ahwefo se ene na yewo ye maamefo mienu ya nanka ye ne wo mo eba bedi nkomo na ye maame baako ono bibi nti wantimi amba na ya maame a ye nyina ye nim no ewiase nyina celebrate no ewiase nyina enim no ne modern bo a wobo ede eboa ema ekanko ono ana ne ye ne no bedi nkomo na maame a ye kana semi eye Professor Georgina ya Odru na ono eye head of department ewo UCC eye sociology and anthropology department no wono ena wodano.
That's right.
Na ne modern bo a wo bo ene se obepia emma kanko no enya asem koto akra wodi kan aba enti ma yenko na afi yema na kwa aba na yenche yenkomo ase Prof ewe se oti enka yemo akwa aba e de ba sinupen dwumedie so eti producers madawoma monhwe na afi mon check ne sound no yente ye maame enka yi enti yenhwe na yensan emfa ne biem na yembra Prof, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Nyame adom yete wonka papa na Prof, on to say
Ami adom ho yo.
Yede nyame ase se o busy schedules ni nyina no watimi anya bre na woni eba bedi nkomo. De di kan ma yenka se ewiase nyina jesi wo se March 8 bia no yede celebrate ema nyina na yaka ye ho atwe adwene asiso ne yesese yeye edeboa ema se aman se ankrankro aban na afei enipa ahodo a wo muka bia eyeye nyina enti Saturday ye twemu na yedi sa edakese no yedi kan wo ye oba se sa dai edu ho a ya na awokeka no te sen
Yo medase me chia etiefo ina nti sani awakaye no 8th March annually every year no that United Nations it is to celebrate women and girls, and this year so Nyadom we celebrated it. Yeah, celebrated since 1911, so it's quite old. And this year it's also very strategic because it is 30 years since the Beijing Platform of Action in Benin Pein for Asia Main in Akushia or in China, in Bahu. So it's a very remarkable year for us in terms of celebrating it. In Tinyamiadom this year we celebrate here, but I could see memeneda. In the organizations we celebrated during the week. Ebi no ukwada, ebi no yawada, ebi no fiada. No more mbeti me somo ye no memeneda no. So that is what actually happened. And this year no, Pein momo de maya. I must say, celebrate achievements and accelerate actions towards gender equality. Inti UN who say it is saying we've made some achievements. Yakoye nim kakra, they share all dimensions of life. If we pick the political terrain, if we pick the social terrain, if we pick the economic terrain, even religious terrain, and then the educational fields and all other fields, no, there have been some progress. So it asks us, celebrating the progress we've made. But we need to intensify, we need to speed up, we need to put in some extra effort in accelerating action so that we can move forward better than where we currently are. So, I know that a theme they celebrated this year.
All right, Prof. Sanya wo church and say mono now. In putting much effort, no, na Ghana aban etimi aje eye emra ebeboa ema wo mu yedie ene omo kanko enti se obehwa His Excellency the former president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo eye Affirmative Action Act ya wono ade ne nsa sha ase asese ababeye mra ewo omayim ye betimi akase eno nko ano in putting much effort no eno nko ano ebeboa ema ne yehwehwe abem.
You, Marisro, because we've made progress in terms of the president then assenting to the bill and then making it law. That is progress. But question I was say, say, what about its implementation? And this has been a weakness with Ghana. Ghana laws be assent, we ratify and all that, but a cancer implement a challenge because affirmative action generally the aim of affirmative action is a group has been disadvantaged, a bit more marginalized, a bit more effort. We should put in some actions and effort to bring these people up. And women are one such group. So we should say Ghana, my New Year's women form over 50% of the population. In Ghana, our census says that we are 51.2%. So we are more than the men. And then globally also we are over 50%. So if this half of the world's population know what they are, now here say their voices should be heard. Here say their impact should be felt in the development agenda. Into here pa no tin affirmative action wo. Into affirmative action ne pa ye no. Omuka say by this year 2025-2026 I will say you pushing back na be 30% of representation in various spaces in the political angle, economic like Ejuma, no leadership. No, we should have about women having 30% representation. They all other groups. But the question is, to what extent are we having this representation? This government is making an effort, but actually no, it fell on his lap because Onona Adiana Betune also implemented. Now say a share Council of States in Kwa, a share election now about Soma. How many women were voted? The issue is when the political system is about voting, women will always be disadvantaged. And the reason why women will be at disadvantage is because of our socialization, our patriarchal orientation, the fact that society, including women and men, think that women shouldn't be leaders. Although women, so if we can raise children, why can't we also be leaders in the public sphere? That is a question for all of us to think through. Or say 30% representation. But yeah, you see, I share parliament last year's the one that was dissolved with about 13% because it's by voting. This year, so yeah, 41, and also it means around maximum 15%. Until you do 20%, you do 30%. So the question is, how can that be achieved?
Prof, what church and say mu ye papa, but ade baako a obi nso ebebusa ene say now looking at target no ene da yede ama yen say yemfa achieve that target no eno na ya na ano den because we are looking forward say by 2030 no na bia say yefa emema bia 20 ewa adwuma mu a na emma enso so 20 Osha Ghana ho keken a ye betimi eduru ho de.
Yeah, that is the big elephant in the room. I was saying a tackle because by 2026 we should have 30%. By 2028 we should have 35%, and by 2030 we should have 50%. But yeah, and this is where the UN action that we accelerate action comes on board strongly for us as a country. But I'm also sure we are sticking to the current system of voting or by election. We will never get there. I actually will never get there. Other jurisdictions, Rwanda, Kenya, East Africa in particular, compared to West Africa, they have made some efforts. They brought in legislation a bit of how to be safe seats. Can I say baby or one seat? No, so why not? So we are short for a particular party. At the end of the day, if we can achieve that, and you're one person, because it's a multi-stakeholder approach. Teachers with in terms of students or children, parents with in trying to instill in their daughters the fact that they are capable and they can do it. Politicians have a role to play in terms of ensuring safe seats for their female members and making efforts to really bring them on board. You know, say you can't say not the existing status quo, then the would not get there. I think that's my personal observation. But we really need to make some strategic efforts and decisions to get closer, if not even there. That is what I think. But if we continue moving at the pace that we are moving there, we will not get there.
Prof, I'm saying, and come on, ye and say, as I say, a man, yama womo akwenja. But another, I mean, challenger, me for say, a what Ghana also has to do with say, a man and kasa bikrano, and your margin say, wamo ebe bomanim, ama sa akwenja nan kasa krano, yet me ede ama womo. Because one, they are thinking, say, me bay, edi dia temwa, e was our opportunities na wono. Me feel say, emwa, it ube wono, na, emma kukudru esese wamode take up challenges no, wamuntimi emma. Kwan ben so na yebefa asoman a, yebetimi de ohyebi so in a way, ede ato ma so, ama certain, I mean, positions no, wamonso so etemi aben ho ama na yeye.
Okay. Nti me da se na woka no. Woka say see betumi achieve ya and so we have a role to play. And that is true. But it goes beyond women. Instead of saying gender cycles, and we've been talking about male involvement or male allies. Because society no, a man and a man is society no. So if you can achieve, men need to understand why, for example, a woman should be encouraged, a woman should be, supported and equipped for a particular position. Because I feel say, no, me so me pay, also pay, then I was the amount. That is one thing. And people also say that we women, we should be equipped, yes. If I say, I'm building a capacity, see, I'm your first female vice president in the country. Imagine, say, so I'm building a capacity and opportunity to buy, will she have gotten it? That's another question. So it means that we need to build our capacity. We need to be equipped so that when the time comes and we are called upon, we will be able to function in that capacity. The other thing they say is the terrain, is that kind of space. Yeah, we were home, so you're educated, you are vocal, why don't you go into politics? But you know how dirty that space is. So this behoves on all of us, not just women. The church, the political space, the society. Why should you insult? Because most of the time, if a woman, the violence in that political space, she to be a how a home sin, like it's so rough at the rate. We need to gradually sanitize that space so that those who are capable can go. Because people are capable, but because it's so rough at terrain, some will stay back, not wanting to meddle in that kind of way. If you really want to get women to achieve this affirmative action landmarks that we've set in terms of the 30, 35, and the 50%, we have a huge role to play. And then media to educate people. Because through sanayeti, obi ho ntia simenti also ba leader. Because now dream on Obama and was a leader anti SMP na your roles to play to get to that level, I'll say.
All right, enti yene ye mame Professor Georgina ya Odru ono Oko University of Cape Coast UCC ono no ye head our department your friend sociology and anthropology no ono na odi animu ono na kan ye ho ane ye di ye nkomo. Now let me come back to the studio na me ne Albert nso enkyere ne de Albert otie nia prof ekan ye say wo hwe senia ye public space no ankasa no yama insult aye homa no. It is about time I say you sanitize your friends a public space no, so that ebema a man so anya ho keka etimi abo manim amana boaye.
Of course, un say ye hwe sa enema prof ka ho asem ya empen bebre no efie sa sundue ebeba ho a aya na ye ma nti e ma empe kk omompe se omo beye ade a ebegu se bi omho fi ana ye politics yin so no ya come here aya koye no kre say it's a dirty game. enti say wanya oba bi a n'ani eden ana say oye na adwen say no matter what I want to be a politician. There be ana akoye space for a man nko a. Enti SSC etimi sanitize your politics na ye wa ha no. Na your community no ye sanitize na ye sign accept ema. Empe bebre na ya na ye tradition ni bebre o mpo a. Ye man na ye impose ade to the sense say assess wo ye oba mpo a sebi o asenyansa enu tim. Enti your society bi a say ye di nkomo anasa asema ba fie mpo no. Ye frɛ ma mpo ntena se no ma beka bi. Yankasa ye local setting na nkasa. Asema ba fie a ye ka no na mema na ti ho. Ana ye ka no ye wi decision akọ impose ama ema na se bi ye den. Omo abusua nim. Empemebe ni se obenya oba bi o abusua mu mpo a empanifo be ma da audience ebetie na ebi ana ono ankasa timi a struggle akodu baabi akoye opani bi wadwuma mu ana se prof ene ne ka sei won say so wo fie na wo professor e wo mo oye oba de a emema no man da audience no but SSC start here charity begins at home yankasa ye local setting na ye wo no yankasa ye mantem sen ana ye hwe ye ma no si ye sanitize ho ne ma ye politics ne attractive ye benya ma bebre abem recently local election local assembly election ekoye e ma omu win ye we by just about 4.1%. What you say and omotimi call district assembly elections no enti se unya ne sana na kwa akoye bibia ase emma na ni sheda enje hu se omankasa be de ombe wrem enti se pese emma no ede omho hyemu bebre a yenya level playing field yemma politics no enya akono yemma emma nya confidence no na yensusu nkama enhye you see sa na ma nyina no aya na me blame yankasa ye local settings na abridi e de aba bedru ba bia ye duri because obema ene ne yiri kwafuom na obema no e bafia ne yiri nyem akora senachi oba ne sonioma na bema enam onkita hwe
na okuta phone cry ye ko edi akire
ofie adwuma ba mu nyina makwa adwuma bedru fie no o expect say oba no ne beden obeye aduane oba ne be ma ne epia oba ede na wo ye oba ne de opie ba na hwe ni fie a oni obi a obisa ne say ede na wo fie sa ye ne ma na ede bridi ye ho fitete na baba say me ma na be superior beings do bible say be ma na ye busua ni ti but me sure so be ma bi o conscience bi anso ehu say said ye me ni pa me adwuma me bre no sa na me yere nso ye adwuma obre intesesa umma emma no helping hand na emma no etimi nso etu anamo mema nyame bo ade na ngasa no obo bema ana oyi ne mfempade de bo oba be ye bema ne boafo na umma oboafo ne bre bebre a na o se no aniye ya nti all the time they say mema no ye ma emma no kwan na baby a yebetim di o ma hye no ye de o ma hye ye hwe ye politics ye mu even se nipa na anko election pa appointment keke kra ye mfama wo appointment keke we president Mahama appointees 90 member cabinet owo e ma mienu pe ene wom as cabinet ministers which is about 10% of the total cabinet ministers okohe council of state appointment any election nyina about 31 people e ma be 7 pe ne wom enso ani say yanto abama nimpo a you as an appointing authority so obetimi appointing omo just to encourage we say president Mahama start appointment that now appointing youth na me catch say it's a good thing for the youth exactly. Encourage you exactly. Say more now appointing distinguished women to certain positions no omo ko no ko bom ho modern a it should tell you say a man so betimi ayamana yeye what you say and then vice president she was the first female vice chancellor ewo Ghana ha ewo UCC when we say na muama ene we be the first female president vice president possible say in the near future you betimi asanya female president ewo Ghana ha It is possible.
Yamma wo mo
akwanja na. Kwan no because sebi ye ne ma be brako school. Woni wo class at me say man be a sharp. O ma dwen ye adwuma be bia ni ho a like they don't struggle to learn. Oba oye brilliant, no brilliant. Inti ye mwa na ye mas ye space no sanity mra ho na enya ma na kono se dem kaka e man pe dede omo pe keke enti se oba man po wo fie na bbs no so oba na obre wase se twen enti se koba se ye political space no ya na tantan na insult ne ma ho a trust me a man will not come enti nyina ye mbo e homodin na ye sanitize space no na a man ntimi mra mu first dwie adwen ya mede amom no embeboa na enti nyina empanya na nye yie.
All right. Eti ma mensan enko prof na afi me ne prof enwie na professor Georgina Oduro ya ye ne no edi enkomo yi oye obi a unim agona suadura ye wo kro ba aku bi a eno ofri suaduro ekokonya ako a ewo ntemu ye fra agona asafo eho ana ofri na watimi arise from that space no dia bebedu level a owo ende no it tells you adwumaden akom the sacrifice any I mean how radiant no ono ankasa nso aye ena wodi edru sa level no you see so yene ayaka nyina nso so no yemmo ye ho so na ye ya ayeye now prof ma memra wo biem ansa na ebeja mo akono looking at this discussion ye betna se amadani da nyina no akwa ba bedru se afe ansa na ya baba ye such discussions atwe nipa nyina adwen e de abaso se ye nuanom ma ye mama ene ma ye ni omo ewo society ni mu no esese ye mo omo akwanya ewo kwan soronko so ana.
Yo, medase. Inti, first, before I may respond to a question, no. Like I said, additionally, there are 2 points which I think say are very important if we can achieve the affirmative action agenda. No, one will be the monitoring, the tracking, of that thing. So, who is responsible? Currently, it's within the domain of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. But do they have that kind of power to bite? If, for example, the president is not observing it, I was say strengthen the monitoring and then ensuring that it's actually working. We need to do that. Maybe there should also be sanctions and rewards, because Sabasa was saying, "Oh, you now appoint women to about 30%, and you are not doing it. What are the sanctions that will go against you? If you're also observing, what are the reward mechanisms available to you?" I think that when these things are also put in place, for women to fight on their own, and then it may be very difficult, I think. But Sani Awo cannot say in terms of inspiring women. Yes, like we said, now we are seeing success stories. And that is what we celebrated this year with the theme. Into your home, your vice president, your EC Simbami, your chief justices, our vice chancellors. And then it's not only within the formal sector, within the informal sector too. So we are making some progress, but we need to do more. And if we can do more, it's about all of us together. The churches have roles to play, the homes have roles to play. So, for example, if you are parents, you have children, give all of them equal opportunities. Those days, I work as a no be power and now Kosuya de Pamanati pregnancy and Shemba professors are your Shemba Shemba politicians are your. And then another thing that kills women in politics is also the financial aspect of it. We know how expensive it's become. And most of the time, we don't have that kind of. So political parties should make conscious efforts and ensure those safe seat policies or the appointive aspects as operating in Rwanda, Kenya, and other jurisdictions. We should gradually imbibe some into our system. And I think that with all these policies in place, we'll make some progress, because we're already making some progress, though it is slow. And the UN says that we should accelerate the action. And if we can, it behoves on you, me, and everyone, so that together, including the men, because if men understand why women should be empowered, they will not be stumbling blocks and stifle that progress or process, but they will rather support it. So that is a little that I want to say. And I want to use this opportunity to wish all women a very important day. Though it was on Saturday, it is still a celebration of women. And yeah, we appreciate women, and they are very important to development process, to the economy, and into all dimensions of life. Remember that when women thrive, society flourish, or society progresses. That will be my concluding remarks. Thank you.
Yes, I know what they concluding about na kitwe bi na fe yenja ho na yenko. Dia yekeka nyina no yekeka ye de kokogu eye aban no epona no. Now, looking at His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the kind of appointment all ye no, we oba udi dom enim. Uhun is saying ebeboa am yetimi achieve this target. Sinipe mame.
Well, sana yeka start and yeka say if we follow this same trajectory, we can't. He's making an effort, but it could be more, and it should be more. It could be more, and it should be more. Because the question is, Mba, are they ready? Are they capable? Do they have the capacity? But yes, a lot of women have the capacity now. Highly educated women, they very well system anymore. So we are very, very capable. But we do know that politics is a very interesting game, because at the end of the day, sociologists will say it's an agency and structure at work. So it isn't just about you, but there are also structural and systemic, challenges. When you're appointing, when I was appointed, although a president, I'm not sure if he has the soul power in his appointment. That's not our subject of discussion this afternoon. But
yes,
we should put in more effort.
Yes. Now, Prof, ma yenhwe wahyesie baby a wo hyase ene baby a wo de aba beduru, and then
hey, okay, say me you.
Udi emma hodo anim, emma hodo a wo kire wo mu ade, emma hodo a wo ni wo mu ewo esom mu, emma hodo a wo ni wo mu kra eye adwuma ene emmabunu ahodo a wo mo ehwe yen ene ade nyina no. Aseme na abeka ede akire wo mu ansa no wagya ye ho akọ.
Ntisana ameka victory for women is victory for society. Achievement for women is achievement for society, as the theme for the year said. So, we should build ourselves. We should be ready, so that when we are called upon, we will not have give excuses because we are not ready. And as we get ready, and the appointing bodies, society, and our colleagues should also recognize that they need us, so that together we build the nation and we build the world. Thank you.
All right. Na say na ye kan bibia na wo ka se uja ye ho akọ nyabotrema me wadama uja ye ho akọ na ne ye kan bibi se emma going into politics, because ye kan politics ehwa na ne ye keke nyina no ye betimi use political power and ye betimi use the achieve target ye hwehwe nyina say baby a waduri ye kan se capacity wa build your capacity. Now, say me ankasa my ready. Na me sponsorship no me deba say me do call Aguna West. O be jina MP. O be ye adwuma ma yen. Why ready? Sinipen ma me.
Am I ready? My appointment, Marty. I am ready, baby. I'm waiting for my appointive letter.
All right. Ya bada ase papa yene ya mame Georgina ya Oduro. Ono na yene no edi nkomo. Oye professor na ono na woko University of Cape Coast. Sociology and Anthropology department no wono na wadano na yene no edi nkomo kama. Yada na se papa se wenya bre na one edi nkomo. Albert enti nia ewo ne na mom abusua ya maame maame afia akoto wono ana na yeguso a ye hwe nanim nyame adom wababa abeka yensa ya yene ono nso ebetena ase na afei ya toa nkomo ahodo a aka no so akwanim hye ne so se utie yen ewo Oman FM so ewo nkra pompone mantemo afei Ash FM enso Asante Mantemo Nap Radio ewo Asimfosu mfimfini mantemo and afei other political platforms ahodo no nso so no me no ka se wo mu nyina eboa agigum Albert na me ne Albert nso so na ebeboa me ma ye okay enti sabre dia kan no me ne me maame afia akoto wono former deputy CEO de Maslock adwumakuo no wono ana me ne no ebesin konwa na afi yato ankomotwetwe nso akoyanim hye ne nso se emrepemu no yebebia homa no ama wonso so aba the o contribution the aba but in the meantime say uko Facebook and YouTube ho nyina no o comment no eno so betimi the afa ho the aba afei on WhatsApp enso so numbers no 0240 550899 na fei onso so obetime de o text message and na fei WhatsApp message nso de afai no nso so de aba ya fra me Mr Inkum me na metie adwemu a me ne o edi dwumadie yi ma bibia aye kama ma ye ntwa ye ho na fei se ye ba ye maame afia akoto enso so aye ready a ye ne no ebetena se na yetimi edi nkomo atoa so akọ yenim ye ba sisi a enti abusia sania mekaye no ebraso se yetwa yenkomo so na afi yede ema na obi ebusa se affirmative action act na nkasa kra no ni main focus anase de sinani so pa no eyeden na eno no wo hwe a yede eba ye se by 2026 no na chese ye ka emma wodo a in terms of leadership wo modede da ba no a na chese yenya ohamu nchemu be eduasa afi yesanso ehwese by 2030 no na chese ohamu nchemu be se aduonum na chese wo ye emma wo mo eda ba no ye kan ba eda ba no a wo mo enso so ebetimi ewo mu a wo mudimu akotene ema eyeye enti eno ehu nkomo ana yeguso a yedie ama bibia akọ nanim na encheye no yohu se ye ne ye maame eye professor edi enkomo ewo professor ya oduro ye ne no edi enkomo na sesei ye ne ye maame afia koto a oye CEO edema eye An Foundation An Foundation no eye se wo mo eye advocacy edema eye youth na afei ema ene ye maamefo nyina gender advocacy eno ene adwuma wo mo eye ye maame afia akoto na wo ye CEO wono ana yene no eba bedi nkomo na afi yakọ yenim ama bibia aye kama mame ma memo akwaba bibia boko de and then first time Mateo nka e radio so TV so in fact metietie baby bebrebe but and then first time meshia na ohutwa yie pa ohutwa yie pa nyame nhia
pa na chese me ngongo kra se ene do your pressure with them so I just say man for me someone in the dra. Not to traffic more dear bano. A show drum with me woma or man FM. Tinene me buy na one more no one cause on my be.
There be yeah chachon.
Na my befi it's been a while and I always say o man in a 2 TV there. Oh yeah, old time politician now. And say otutu nasi. You say do ya Nancy you can't more baby. And I said like I mean your first love would always remain your love.
Okay.
This is where most of us and this is where most of us started our political journey in life from, and I mean it's a platform we don't take for granted, and I mean we are who we are because you open your doors for us. And it is, I'm bringing it in because it's also about gender issues. May his soul rest in peace. Ofakwachi was one person who really believed in gender. I remember years back when we were having primaries, and even before mine, I saw how Ofakwachi was so passionate about most of us women who were then in politics. He's always been a pillar for women. Until coming here,
yeah, now one tree na bem
maybe sasa brofi okay now see.
But messy fafra. Fafra.
Say Janet too brofi na mekenti. You net too no me can brofi. Maybe sa na also say
fafra.
I feel you fafra. Until I mean on Man FM there men can Adam. You can political platforms and our media platforms are a pushy and ma ye dear ma kind call will be BM1 mudem and I give it up to you because what I have mostly Gentia Minkai Busia for ya me bo Wafadini said mostly when we talk about political discussions I don't feel say me mano and make I don't know whether
much impact.
As a more Amadrimu does man you can't understand. But Ofakwachi was not like that. He was not the political person in the platform, no biased towards Mba. And that is what I see about Netu. And then after all, no see you your bar. It's in a chesa mubuma, a chesa mudoma, a chesa musom masne. Me come last primaries were kind queen of was very instrumental. Intino and ne ye kai and ma na me fa kwenye so abo e mema omo tie mechi se ebe ye omo be reach omo goals so no me fa kwenye so se wawu sort ase abo mabaso o Man FM na 2 moye bi na monko so nye bi nka ho esan se ye hia dodo e wo ya manyo semu ene yen mental issues mo bibia no ye hia e ma na dodo nti na minim so betimi aye nti mo ni yo na monye bi nka ho.
All right, so what time no so na ye be sorry a mema be 2 minutes now they aka ye an foundation ho asem kakra but ma yenhwe ye topic I that bamba so no emma enyina no ye celebrate emma nyina na afi ye de yadwene akoso se esese ye yesi esese ye boa ma emma akwenya now dedika ma yenhwe eye affirmative action act no na dwuma ye de ba se omra meye no wo ye oba wo hwa ebe ye den ama yen se wo man se betimi aduru sa target no ana etesen
yo minfa kwenye sunchia ye mami a odi kan kasa ya Professor Georgina ya Odro. I mean she spoke very well and a tray say ma ye yankasa na agitum say we've made progress. Okay, she already told you what UN's this year our focus was on. We have to celebrate how far we've come and then accelerate ourselves to a better future. Okay, say say how far have we come? There were some times and I say years ago and me fa kwenye so and more ma minimum to say your former first lady
Mama Rebecca
me free Mrs. Rollins.
Okay,
it was her time and me say but I remember I was very young. Me see Beijing conference me say Beijing sometimes so near had I be a friend Beijing. Me said in Beijing na a Marco conference, and that's on the lighter side. I mean, she was someone who believed so much in women, and she did a lot to impact women. Sometimes, I sit back and me DN a man yeah. In the sense, when women did not have a voice in this country, don't forget, before Mame Rollins buying, there were other first ladies, I know Mabako, but we did not see the impact or the role of a first lady because there is no clear-cut role for a first lady. But she took upon herself so by championing the cause of affirmative action, and I said a kind of. And over the years, on her foundation, and a yenum ya building on. Memfa kwenye isunchia ye former first lady Nadu Mills. If we Nadu Mills ye ba Mrs. Mbisasa. No, Mrs. Lodina, right?
Lodina Mahama.
Mrs. Lodina Mahama.
First coming
and
second
coming. Mrs. Nadu Mills. Mrs. Emisata. And then Mrs. Rebecca akufo-addo. Ma me chia ba bibiara awo. And the yen second lady Miami Nuaba mi bibia Mrs. Samira Baumia. Now you sign Abba Beto, Mrs. Mahama Bim. All these women in their own way have played key role as to baby Ayababidi. And if we are celebrating our goals, almost a fantasy about Mabaso. The entire we can say Miri Brianna Media and say we've been in this country many at times. Ubehuna in quality Mrs. Rollins who fell ye chabono. You don't get to hear the other voices of women. Ube Bisa say, is this the same woman who put herself down for us to, stepping on her shoulders to be where we are today? So if anything is being, if she's being lambasted and attacked, where are the voices of the women?
It drew baby and I will say a man so best sorry, a Gina Aquama Yinriano.
You see? We've not been able to to accelerate. How do we accelerate? We can only accelerate better if we stand together on a common ground. We don't need to be friends to agree on what to do to push ourselves forward. No. And Memfa Kwenye Susan Ma Ababedi gender ministry anim from your Mami Otiko, Miami Niaba, and I know Yelita, Cynthia Morrison, Adwa Safwa. I may have forgotten Newman, Odakwa Newman, and the current one, Namomo, right?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah, Namomo.
And then the current one. My reason being that, you see, when it comes to issues with gender, let's know that we have a deficit. We can agree to help push it forward, devoid of political differences. When are we going to learn to put our political differences aside?
As I said, NDC, MPP will be adding the party some tone change. Near Nina Kabum, Nafi Yetimi, Ekoyanim.
Sorry. See, and then I'm the person yet, yes, look, your common goal, is here, but Guama and Ma empum to a conkai. And then, me make us say my baby, and especially by your Chrome Hagana. I get many semi who say, offer to say professor first. Hardly will you get Obampo professor.
Yeah.
Hardly will you get say Ubehu Enagana. After all, we have the first, second vice president being a woman. Under Nana akufo-addo's administration, we had a female who was the chief of staff.
Yeah.
Currently, we have a deputy chief of staff who is also a woman.
Yeah.
It's not to say hand in hand. Each government try to push women forward.
Okay.
But when we get the opportunity to be there as women now, you see a platform to champion the agenda of and man. I said, to try how will we accelerate? Yes, we are boy and basso for the successes we've chalked. But how do we accelerate? That is where I think that this discussion should focus on. Because currently, yes, the affirmative bill has been passed. How do you accelerate from there? How?
The implementation.
And only acceleration. You be then yet me accelerated by say it's not near kasi you be implemented near the best score political lines. Why do I say this? Recently, you would see Sir, ebia obabi and I don't want to play partisan politics here. But you see sebia obabi a chalky success be. Oh, ebia baby, let me just come in the name of acceleration. Recently, I realized there was some dragging here Chimasi on social media.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening here? How would we accelerate if we keep dragging women? We were in this country, we had an MP like Honorable, forgive me to cite a male, Samson, and he so-called parliament and anoko from here, a cock by here. Young who see a chin a boy, so Sanya, obey ye train a boss. Sa adie we nti ye nua ba bi emre atwam a na friend no amase echo parliament yenya e mani bi amwa amma wentimi antoa na aju
e bi twetwe no
ye twetwe na. How do we accelerate? Accelerating doesn't necessarily mean one should have every requisite qualification first before nipa na betimi accelerate. Even having the confidence to put herself up for leadership role should tell you that this woman knows what is in her. Sebe ya intete ni mrimu no ana ya asanto amomo kwa ako a omukokodi nkunim no oka so obedi asantima anim no ya misa ne say ya asanto na school certificate
obi amusa hwe na
kokudro yenya ne mujidie na ba ne say na oba bitimi tu ne ho si otisama say so opeso take leadership role na ye di le twetwe no ne ye twetwe ne boase. If we do these things, how can other women like her? There are a lot of intelligent women out there. I have more opportunity to shine and they can shine.
Yeah.
Ghana happy, go to China. There are women out there who can only do well in their local dialect. It doesn't mean that they are not fit for positions.
Yeah.
Recently, I saw something in Parliament, and I was very impressed. And that was when the minority leaders decided to constantly, quiz the appointees in their local dialect. I was like, oh, finally we are getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, before. And then me buy a crown. Nanka de me person medical who say kaoshe made in Ghana a shirt. Me I will say your Ghana man. What the crowd rub kwasi broni
we na ye made in Ghana. O Ghana na ye Ghana for
My point is, we are in our country. If someone believes, say, she can accelerate in the local language, let's just the person. Let's see what is in the person than see a better panel. This affirmative action bill now, person. See a bit me implement here. We have to have a broader scope.
Okay.
In looking at it and how we can get our goals set.
Woka mame amase hu asemi.
I use there as an example.
Yes. Me kai nia ofemu ansa na obedru baabi a odu ye no. Na nya asem keto edru baabi a de kro no nyina to no so no waye sei na ye ne kasa ne ye boa. Yes. No obedru sa baabi a na ye twetwe ne sa no kre na chese mo ama no ase mo amo san etenta mo ye mo ho abonsamfo.
That's the reason why I said we can only accelerate if we put political differences aside. Ghana haya two parties. Ama omani ntimi nkonini. Omani na nkonini mebede na mako. Recently, I saw again on social media. Let me acknowledge some of the strong women who have accelerated in where they are, like Mamia, the quiz mistress for Brilliant Science and Maths quiz. Oh, yeah, big girls. So what do you expect? Big girls, wherever we are, we accelerate. But my point is, we have women in sporting areas who are accelerating. Ye boa mo show mo kina sanya ye di ye do ye bibia ya da je tie black stars achine ye dey tie black queens achi they will accelerate. How many times do you see Man FMC eti ha ni ye bo ma omo aja de man sport and na ya dedicate ma omo di ye wo sporting activities and then your concentration you're just it's always about the men.
Okay.
How do women accelerate in their areas if you and I don't support and throw light on them? Not just there, journalism. I sometimes sit back and I get so impressed. Just a day before International Women's Day, she did Women of Valor in Paris, and it was classic. Massive, well attended, and I was so proud as a Ghanaian woman. This is a woman who has been through a lot in our hands.
Okay. Meba ebusia na me ka wo se utie yen ewo eye Oman FM so afei o san etie yen ewo Ash FM enso so na afei nap radio enso so fa ye live a o tie ewo nia ye ne no edi enkomo sesi eye Mame Afia Akoto eye CEO edema eye Ant Foundation encheye wono anano ye deputy CEO Maslock and ye nyina ye nim bra ye man position a wo mu nyina eba ye no wo mu na beboa ye ma Maslock kra no nipa dodo na kra no eteye. So it tells you say ye ma opportunity omo so betimi abom ho moden ama yetimi akoyanim ma miantoa ye nkomo no eso
de me person me kan kakra no ne say I always say something na me expect say, and I'm not here to judging na me person ka me de minyaya nka ye mama frema. I know she did a lot for women.
Yes,
I wish say nka a day like in Rano obey me who data of a man as a chief of staff or you see na konya no at the accelerate push forward. If we don't get these data, we won't be able to appreciate the Emma
achieving the target.
Yes. So all these necessary data no, sometimes me feel say here. I'm saying this because if me in my mind the first female chief of staff no inspired young Mampenyi currently John Mahama. So no so before bar or be go beyond chief of staff no be the first vice president.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get it.
That's the point.
There I have make a crown and say Ayana Ghana yes ye little achievements now we don't celebrate it. And that's the reason why I elogize Nana Aba Anamwa on this platform. She did so well. She made women and especially the Ghanaian women proud, the Ghanaian journalists proud. Oma Maya who said, and you're just about reading news on TV, and you're just about on TV, and on. No, it's about making impact across your globe. I mean, in your Ghana, Women of Valor, me expect. I sent her a message. One lady, our Sika, posted. I said, we expect to see Nana Banamwa taking Women of Valor to the US. How this is the impact we can make and the success story we can speak on as women.
And no Nana me busa say so as on mine no ye betimi atena wa say anytime bia no ye ntwen ma United Nations calendar no and guide ya na ye yankase ye ntimi sha say so okay time to time ye din komoto say ye betwen afe.
And until me can be say I was expecting Senka chief of staff. She being the first chief of staff. One of the things she should do, it is not late.
Yes.
Is to hold a press conference and let women know what she chalked in achieving the goals as in pushing other women into leadership role. We need to know.
Yeah.
That is the only way I bet me as celebrity and successes. Other than that, we can't appreciate ourselves enough. I mean, when you look at the statistics of women in parliament, when you look at how over the years it's been going on, you ask yourself, said, D for Daben. Daben ye bet me do be BSc do. Ye bet me do be BSc do see who nya achieve in the past.
Okay.
In educational sector, I believe say I need a minimum, not that I believe that over the last 8 years under Nana akufo-addo, women that had opportunity to go through free SHS were more than the men.
Exactly.
And it makes me proud as a Ghanaian woman. It makes me proud. And if you look at even the data out there, we are the majority. And to say a mad duono through free SHS. I mean, recently I saw something, and now I saw recently, and I think I have a bit of. I look at it in a different way. I say on educational forum now,
yeah.
Saying failure or akala failure, I am repeating it. I disagree in a way. You know why? Sometimes our cycle even when you are going through your menstrual cycle, you are not mentally even ready to talk. And so sometimes important, just imagine say you are in that period and it's your exams week. You don't expect to excel.
Automatically, it affects you. Slow learners.
Especially those who go through cramps. Internet, just imagine say obey you one week exam at the atrele akola. Ebia na akola naturally. I think there are a lot of things that they should factor in and not just exams to fail children. And that is what was honorable the former educational ministers, Matthew Poku Prempe and Educhum were using to progress students. And one of the things is ability to put themselves out in class. I mean, to communicate, to answer questions, how they handle themselves. Because sabi and yire crampo when you onuya background when you weakness no go through that phase. How we relate? If we look at just 1 week exam, we should. I'm not saying that an internet or bad failure exam and go through, but we should look at some of these things and not necessarily be too hard on ourselves. But appreciate how far we've come as Ghanaians and make things better and easier for the Ghanaian female child out there, or the woman out there. I say this because sometimes a buy a chrome hanoma too hard on ourselves. Now can be person maybe a prof question be. Most of the time, a man poll and for professors, lecturers are almost to say prof most of them. The male lecturers in classrooms are nicer and friendlier than the female lecturers. How would we accelerate if you as a female lecturer in the presence of your students cannot relate well with your students? Who would want to? I mean, Oko schools they bring lectures. I am man. I am mostly students into minimum vibe.
Even in Juma would work. I mean, HR foi our moye and ma mostly no.
Sometimes I wish I don't want to blow my horn, but sometimes I wish we could just open the phone call on a day like this and then people tell you how I was when I was at Maslock. You see, in life, don't let positions change you. And especially I'm talking to the women out there. Don't let positions change you. I mean, I feel see you no, be you. Be you. Being nice may be costly, yes. But you can set your boundaries.
All right. Yene ye mame afia koto ane yene ne di nkomo. Ne time ode ma ye no nkomo no ye ne demo no akasa kro nti ye he ne time no ama no said e be ya eno nso so nkonko ha no owodwumadie foforo e wo baabi enti me ma no 2 minutes but you can also keep your messages coming because ye be he na afi yakan eno nso de ama o kama. Me manu 2 minutes na ode aka eye an foundation ehun nkomo de akire na emrepem obesan aba na afei oba eno be yakonwa foforo no betena so na ye di nkomo ama bibia ayekama nti in 2 minutes an foundation adwuma ben na
eye foundation is just in line with what we are celebrating today.
Okay.
You who say money bebre omo enya akonya no obi ohonoma e be out of nyinseng and went me anya akonya no anko school and anko drudgery went me anya insano adwuma bi. And you see, for a woman to accelerate no, you need to give the woman a platform. Until we are there to help put women who have been deprived out of obi okra na fufo ne wuye and abadaye ntino no de ne ho to honom ama wanto ane ho so school ntine bi ene no wanya akonya no ebi kra no nim makeup ye onimade pam esno the basic communication skills were brofum kakra obeka e de twitwa ne ho anya no so na adwuma na ye ne din. So we put these women together and then we find a bit of lecturing addition kakra be mo no so betimi de twitwa ne ho obi wo hono a we are into vocational training as well. Obi wo hono so woni sanu anduma bia woni aniswade hu bia ye de ne ba or reach out to us ye de omo to into vocational institutions nim ne ye ya fa hoka, but you have to be serious. You have to see your commitment level. Ni a train you ye trenu wi a ya siki emwa afri aban akonya anase government institutions emwa mbetimi anya sa machine bi a waposo ade awie machine ese ye pede ma sa setup sika bi na ese ye de bo bibi ma wa ya pedi ama de asoase na oso nya bibi agina so na oso de ahwe enchima. And basically, in as much as you can my man, and foundation now looks at gender and youth. Until no so ye bema now so what problem bisano. We don't cut you off. Some webi o wa ye che mema ha omo yiti omo palma dear omo ene mema cry makeup.
Yeah.
Until if you are ready, we put you in. And then we see your commitment level. We are ya pe mwabi ya dia so wansene na also dia kwa share obrase. I said years ago why you for be platform bia ya de pe adwuma ye training we na se hwe a ni akwa ya ni akwa ko hu na bi omo so de wato omo platform no so insano adwuma na wasua ye wie na bia ye trailer ni bi na wo o man fm area mu hanoma ye training we wie na wo ha ye do number mama obi ye de omo de to omo platform no so obi pe ade ye ra na design na bia mana ye suit amawa onim se o man fm ma asumesi shem petem ha na odi abro na so anya adwuma. So basically and foundation is there to empower the women, to empower the youth for a better future in Ghana as a whole. All right.
Enti ye beda wase na ebripem enso so no oba ibedi nkomo na mom se ye na se mo gi adesua e de ama mo mo kofo a mo befa wo mo no de a mo hwehwe eye Marry Noel Beauty Academy enso so akira kwan na ye nkyerɛkyerɛ wo mo basics ahodo na ebeboa ma wo mabrabo no adue emudie ankasa enti senya na ye ka no o messages ene nia aka no bomoden na fabra emrepem ye bebie phone lines na afei mo nso so mode kakra aba na ya toa so akọ yenim ama bibia ayekama na ye maame ewo program bi wo baabi dwumadie foforo a sese okoso nti ye beda na se na afei ye gya ne kwan na emrepem obeba am ya san edi nkomo na ya toa so akọ yenim nti ye da ebia wo bibia be ka kire ma nyina ansan wakwa.
Yeah, they make a kire ma nyina and say we need to accelerate. To accelerate, you can accelerate where you are. You can't accelerate. I just say pia ko enim pem ko enim. So person pem ko enim a me na uton do kono krana bisa won say den me ya metimi apem makomanim e bia me de online services kan ho metimi apem akomanim me pama de me den metimi apem akomanim e bia me ya ordinary adepamni eso no me hu ne say metimi di bibi kakra twist bi kakra kan ho e betimi amama komanim asen se nya me wo no esese uji uhudi se ubetimi aye na udi uhudi se ubetimi aye a opema ko anima eye easy. You first need to believe in yourself and then put yourself out there and allow yourself to move into the direction and it will go and you will definitely chalk some successes wherever you belong.
All right. Ya maame afia akoto ana yene no edi enkomo no sabre de ojae ho na afei watimi akoto ne dwumadie foforo so na bibia aye kama ede amano na maka se ososo o messages na afei o comment ahodo ni nyina no on Facebook okoho a eye net2 tv gh obetimi ede o messages no ene o comment ni nyina de afa ho aba. Afei on YouTube enso so okoho the same thing net2 tv gh ya ho enso so no obetimi ede afa ho na waba ema bibia aye kama ye be kan ede ama as usual menua ba eye Sabatel enso so eguso ya studio B wo ye ready enti very soon wono enso so no ebetimi aba beka yensa na afei yakohwe messages ahodo a aba no yakan ede ama bibia ayekama obapa Sabato na etisen
nyame adom me hoye
bibia boko de
nyame adom bibia boko
all right
na oso e
nyame adom me nso meti ase pa
ya da nyame ase awi ai dia usi de onse hakra o
sao
onse hadabi Whether I just say a pet ticket to be man now holiday ba.
Na ohwe o messages no background no na ohwe o top na
combination and all thing.
Anode.
Anode.
Abo combination ne papa.
Manjeja me ho kra.
Enti ma yehwe messages awdo a nsaka no. Na famaye.
Okay. Messages kakra about YouTube and I remember bossy. Prince Frimpong or say the game changer of all time is Kennedy. No Kennedy, no vote. Case closed. Or no, still now for sleeping. No Kennedy, no vote.
Say, yeah, Papa Kennedy, no. Debia yoka say, Emma, any mofra.
Okay. Now upon TV, say, Honorable Ken Agyapong is the only person to win power for NPP in 2028. Akuya Mankwa say, good afternoon, host. Maybe I know crash you, Anna.
Akuya Mankwa.
Now, Mr. Albert is soon, so one or bet you out.
Akuya heavy. Akuya heavy.
Okay. Colonials appear, honestly say, and the great unifier of the NPP party is Honorable Ken Agyapong. No size. He alone can talk to all the factions in the party. On also so messenger or they buy, you know. And at BL Studios 24, on also say good afternoon net 2 TV. Hot show on also so messenger or they buy, you know. Robertson Dalcon or say good afternoon, bro. On also so there or they buy, you know. And at BL Studios now say time as soon. I say two now born to be a funny TV in the radio and to net too and
yeah massam and a channel I'm yard my baby massam.
I'm missing in Payam now upon TV say Honorable Ken Agyapong is a real businessman who can take Ghana to another level in our development in 2028 when elected as president of Ghana. Wasili Pein Amaye area. Isa Adams also say, good afternoon, Mr. Inkum and Albert and all Kencity workers. Keep up the good job, Honorable Ken. Unyankopon son, and also the free Germany and the buy and Unyankopon swampa. Colonials appear and also say, oh, I see, Women's Day, March 8th. Don't forget to talk about sexual harassment and power harassment at working places. Nanka was saying, "I see her."
Oh yes, so yes, in Pein. Yes, in Pein.
Who say yes, in Pein? What to say? Robert Sendako say that's truth. Only Honorable Ken can win power for NPP in 2028. That is real. And also message no. Nana upon TV so say Honorable Ken Agyapong, great man with great ideas, and next president of Ghana 2028. Nana upon TV say Honorable Ken Agyapong is an intelligent and practical man. And also message no. Colonials appear or say Pein Gideon Kweku Ekon say great show. Nana upon TV say youth in Ghana, wake up and support Honorable Ken Agyapong 2028. Your future is important. And also so Ediano. And Nana upon TV now say the most patriotism and compassion man Ghana has ever have. Honorable Ken Agyapong. More blessings. And also so messenger. Or they buying. When say Mr. Inkum, I really enjoyed your show. Madam, oh, that be where your old message. It's Mr. Inkum kakra about YouTube no thing. Try ho bra na fa WhatsApp there no so e dey am. All
right. Ma men na wase papa Albert. Messages ahodo a abani enche na ye sorry na afi yakọ. Nti wrap up e ma me.
Enti Mr. Inkum ene dey ye ni kasa tintin bi and dey kan say.
Say na ye be ye ma asem. Ye be ye ma asem.
Dan ye dey be ma obi bia say omodije emaso na ye meka kire ye mpanimfo a omo politics say aya omo ehu ema ne say omo so eka ho na eso omo opportunities, especially when it comes to appointment enye de ye to aba ne nko akeke the share President Mahama ye besre no say afi no oba be yi DCs ni MCs ye besre no Oma more na enko man ho na emma enye attractive to other emma na omuni politics no omo so mfam ho mehiem because emma ka enema ne bebre ho a eboa ema na ye kama nti ene ye bi ema say na Saturday na ye International Women's Day iti yebe ma ema ni nyina ayiku na ya hwom kwan say bibia omo ye no omo nkoso ana omo nye na me fasa akonya isu na me fanchia yesi o Madam Stella was in Agyapong nyame nka na ho no mbo no ho ban sonko ono so wa contributing a quota to Ghana. She's just the immediate past board chair Emma Ghana Shippers Authority. We're dealing for 8 years. It means a man given the opportunity and the right atmosphere, no, they can also deliver. Inti ebe jina sa kwenye so na machi amanya na mama obi aso ayiku no mo nkoso nye mo na ye ema no ye de adwuma na mo mutumi ye no eno de she others ni so nkran no mo so etumi baby.
Okay. Enti ma mincha eye Ebenezer Okan. Okay, Ebenezer ewo Washington. USA Washington ewo USA ana yenua eye James Okan enso so ewo Riyadh ewo eye Saudi Arabia munyina nyankopon enhira mo se mo kan ye na afi mo hwe show no nyame ya adoma ekina ye besi ni pen edi amamo na afi ekina so ye bebie phone lines no edi aba. Okay, ma memfa message back we every eye Sabata ho na afi yen so na yenko Sabata.
Okay, message we dey dey ba ma Mr. Albert o say mesre onyankopon enhira mawo oma nkwatentin a ahoden wo mu onsi watamfo akiri kwan na oma wo so na yebe odikani na beye odikani wo oman mu wafefo mu asori mu abusia mu babiara yefre anyansafo nimdifo asikafo no yembo wonso wudi wo ho babiara wode wo nan besi Yehowa nyankopon insiesie ho emma wo Yesu Kristo din mu mema wo awodapa. Happy birthday Mr. Albert.
Thank you.
One funny din ono so dia
onim baby free buy
onim
there be minim ni pa ko
Sabato say wo ya de otwi ya beti asoro
aya afa ni pa na number na nda na se Agyapong share no so.
All right, enti abusia ya beda obi bia ase se otimi eka ye ho nyankopon ya adoma enne ye ba be ye masem echina ye ba be ye memasem ni ase ni pempempe etimi akọ yenim yeda ase se wo je bre etie yen ewo Oman FM so utie yen ewo eye Nap Radio so and afi Ash FM enso so utie yen ewo Amansan Radio and afi Sources Radio wo mu nyina eboaye ema dwumedie ote yenka baby a obia yeda ase nyankopon eya adoma echina besan ba ye frame Anthony Kofi Inkum Daddy Twanitiawa Mr. Inkum na afi yenko